All right, so how many of you have met somebody really cool so far at Awesomeness Fest? Yeah, all right. And how many of you want to meet some more cool people at Awesomeness Fest? Yeah, easy, right? So, because when you look around you, these are the cool people. This is what you want to do. Now, there's a little challenge that you go through in an environment like this, where you've got so many good people to connect with. And the challenge is, first, how do you attract the right people? And here it's a little bit easier because everybody is the right person. But what I mean is, how do you attract the right person for you right now? So you've come here to meet particular people, whether you know it or not. And how do you kind of put that signal out and attract those people? The second challenge is really, when you do that, when you meet that person, how do you connect with them really deeply? How do you get past kind of the small talk and the chit-chat and really get in and connect with them in a deep way? And for both of these challenges, I would say there's really just one solution. And for me, that solution is learning to use your energy. Now, when I say learn to use your energy, that might sound a little funny to some of you, so let me explain what I'm talking about. If I say hand, most people think kind of like this. You think like a physical hand. And we're used to looking at the world in these physical terms of things we can touch and feel and take pictures of and so on. But a few of us are lucky enough to look at the world and see what you see on the right. So when I see hand, I think more about energy. I see the physical part of the body, and then I see the energy around the body too. And if this seems a little strange to you, I can totally understand, because in 1990, I was just finishing up a double bachelor's in computer science and mathematics, and I was working for the Department of Energy and working for the government doing research, and I started seeing energy. And I don't mean like Department of Energy kind of energy. I mean, I started seeing auras, right? I started seeing light around people, and I started having kind of shared dream experiences, and I started knowing things that there's no way that I could know them, that I didn't have any background or information on. And, being kind of scientific minded, First I thought, wow, this is really cool. My superpowers are coming in. And then I thought, wow, this is really scary because everybody's going to think I'm nuts, right? And so I did probably I did the smart thing, which is I didn't really tell anybody what was going on with me. And I started to go into my career. I spent 15 years as a software engineer. But during that time, during the day I was an engineer, but at night, I was studying everything I could find about energy. So I was reading books, I was watching, videos, I was kind of seeking out the best teachers that knew how to sense energy and feel energy, and asking them, how do you do that? How can you teach me to do it more? Because at the time it was very spontaneous. It just kind of happened sometimes, but I didn't know how to turn it on all the time. And so this went on for a long time, 15 years as an engineer, kind of hiding out, not telling anybody what I did. And then 10 years ago, I decided to kind of stop doing that smart thing. I decided to stop hiding it from the world. And I said, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to try to just go out and teach everything I've learned. And I moved to Sedona, Arizona, because that's where a lot of people like me hang out. And, a little bit easier to come out in Sedona. And, but this was a new business. I didn't have any capital to start it. The tech bubble had just burst, and I'd lost my $1.3 million worth of tech stock was gone, worth zero. And so I was thinking, how am I going to start this business? And the one thing I did have going for me is that I understand energy, and I can see energy. So I started to just follow that, and I'm going to teach you a few techniques to use it yourself. But what happened was, over the years, I was able to build a very good business, build a six-figure business, without using any kind of traditional techniques. And what I was doing was just looking at, how do I connect with people energetically, and how do I send that message out kind of, through the ether and reach people this way? And it's very, very powerful. Now, what I learned in these 10 years of teaching is that, first, using energy is extremely useful. So there's no area that I can think of that you can't apply energy work. So if you've got something in your health or something in your relationship or something in your career, definitely you want to take the physical actions to make things happen, but if you take the energy actions too, you notice things happen faster and easier. So it's basically what you're doing is you're kind of lining up with the flow of energy that's already there, and then your physical actions are following that flow of energy. So you end up being a lot more efficient. You don't do all the things that you don't need to do. You just do kind of the lazy approach, the things that take you there faster. Now, the second thing I learned is that everybody can learn about energy. And it seems a little bit funny, seeing energy, but I've trained thousands of people, and I haven't found anybody yet that can't learn. So with a little bit of practice and some feedback where you can know if you're getting it right or wrong, you can learn to see energy and feel energy and listen to energy. Some people can smell energy. And it's something that's actually pretty normal, and you're probably doing it already, even if you don't know. So I also learned that we only learn through experience. So, I believe the things I believe about energy and the world and how to kind of, bend reality a little bit. I believe those because I've had a lot of experiences working with energy. But if you don't have an experience, if you just listen to a story of somebody else, like me telling my story, it doesn't really mean as much to you as if you get an experience yourself. And that's what I want to give you today, is a little taste, a little experience with energy work. And so I picked the thing that I thought was the most important here, which is, again, how to connect with people, how to get them to come to you, and then how to really communicate well when that happens. So when you're looking at how to attract the right people, it's actually pretty simple. There's just 3 little steps. First thing you're going to do is you're going to focus on your message or your intention that you want to send to those people. Now, this might be something really simple. Like in here, I might just say, I'm Jeffrey Allen, and I want to connect with people that have innovative applications for energy work. So maybe that's my intention. But you could have a bigger intention too. If I'm launching a new product, I'm going to say, my intention is to connect with all the people in the country I'm targeting and offer them this product and get them to come and meet me wherever I am. And once you have this message down, your second part is you need to somehow connect with all these people. And I'm going to teach you a little energy trick for doing that. And then once you've connected, of course, then you want to deliver your message. And I'll just show you kind of how this looks in energy. And I like to draw this as cartoons because if you can see energy and know it doesn't look quite like the physical world, and if I draw a cartoon, you're not going to take me too seriously. So the first thing you want to do is this focus step. And for that, what you're going to do is you're just going to imagine you're bringing your energy or attention right around your body. And so while I'm talking, you can just kind of practice this step right now. So just kind of draw your energy back and feel it around you. The second step, where you're going to connect, and this is a little fun, is what you're going to do is you need to expand yourself to the size of the audience you're trying to reach. So in the exercise today, I want you to do just the connection exercise of how do I meet the right people right now? So today, for the rest of the day at A-Fest, how do I attract the people that are just the perfect people for me? And so for that size group, you just need to expand your awareness or your reach to about the size of this room. So an easy way to do that is to just imagine yourself kind of up at the top of the room, like up here, and you've got this 360-degree reach where you can kind of see all the people that you want to reach. Now, you could do this for a whole country, too. You could be above a country or above the entire world. It'll work that way, too. Now, once you've done that, you're just going to deliver the message. So in this case, you're going to just imagine from kind of the top of your head, your crown chakra, that you're sending that message out to all the people in the room. And then you're going to watch and see which people light up, right? And you'll just kind of notice little lights going on around the room, like, I saw 5 people light up that are the perfect person for me right now. Now, very simple exercise, but you're going to notice that you're going to have amazing results with this. And I'll give you a couple examples. So for me, anytime I'm traveling somewhere, I do this. I was moving into Japan to teach workshops. And I went above Japan and kind of reached out to everybody, and I said, hi, I'm Jeffrey Allen, and I'm going to teach about energy, and it's going to be in May, and here's the company you can find me with, right? And something really funny happened. When I got to Japan, on the break in my first workshop, more than one student came up to me and said, the reason I came to your workshop was you appeared to me in this vision. And I remember this curly-haired guy, and you said your name, and you said you're teaching about energy, and about 2 weeks later, I opened up the magazine, and there's your picture. And I knew I had to come to this workshop. And I was surprised, because people don't usually remember, but in Japan they did. I also had a woman come over from, I was doing the same thing to get clients when I was living in Sedona. I had a woman come from Europe, and she said the same thing. She actually said, she looked like kind of shocked when she saw me, and she said, you showed up in my kitchen, and you told me your name, and that you lived in Sedona, and you're doing healing work. And first you scared the crap out of me, but then I thought, I need to go see this guy. And I told her, I said, I don't remember going to your kitchen, but I do send that message out. And I'm sorry for startling you, but I'm glad you came and found me in Sedona. And so this really works. I want you to play with this today, but also play with it in your business too. When you're looking for people, do the energy work, because it's very simple and it's very effective. Okay, so your next step. So now that you know these people are going to come to you, how do you get over the common challenges of kind of that awkward beginning, or that balance of talking in the middle, or even that kind of graceful ending? And if you felt that kind of awkward energy, you know that you can feel energy. So if you feel a little bit funny in a conversation, you're noticing, something's a little bit off, and you're feeling energy. So right away, you know you can do it. And I want to give you kind of a more detailed example of what it looks like when I see energy, right? So when you're talking to somebody, this is you, this is your chakras. You've got kind of like 7 main communication channels where you're talking to people. You've got your spirit and your mind, and your communication and your heart, and kind of your passion or your power and your body. And when you meet somebody, like, they're just going to be kind of attracted and pulled to you. And what happens there is, as soon as you meet somebody, you start to connect, usually right here. So your spirits start to say hello. And this is that feeling you get where you're like, wow, I don't know why, but I'm so excited to meet you. And I have to talk to you more. And there's this big kind of something going on energetically. This is just your spirit saying hello. Now, the next thing that happens is the bodies start to say hello. And when the bodies say hello, it sounds a little bit, it's down here, and it's a little bit more like, hey, baby, this kind of energy. And again, this is normal. So if this lasts for more than 5 minutes, then maybe you got something going on, right? But, if it's happening at the beginning, just assume this is normal. The bodies are saying hello. And then, hopefully what happens next is you start to connect deeper and deeper. And if you're in a real deep conversation, you're going to see that all of your chakras start to connect, okay? And you're going to talk on all these different channels with people. And if you don't do that, what you'll see is that, like, if you're just connected to yourself, you're not actually reaching out and connecting energetically with the person, you're going to seem a little bit aloof, a little bit standoffish. And so then you just want to kind of imagine that you're connecting instead. The opposite can also happen, where you're talking and you're not connecting, and then you're going to seem, pretty self-centered. It's all about me. I'm just talking. My energy's here. And again, if you feel that, or you feel that from somebody, you want to reach out and just imagine, kind of visualize that you're connecting with them. And this works fantastic. So when you do that, again, let's assume that you make this nice connection, you're talking on all these different levels, and at some point the energy is going to start to kind of fade. The energy will start to fade out, the conversation starts to die, and you really want to follow that energy. So instead of trying to hang on to the conversation, that's the time when you want to say, okay, looks like it's time to wrap up. We're still talking, but there's not much connection happening. I want to move on to my next right person. And when you do that, you want to have your energy move back into this self-sufficient mode. So you're still just kind of maintaining your own energy rather than imagining that you're talking to this other person. Now, sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes what happens is the person leaves, and you're still trying to connect energetically with that person. And this is when you start to feel lonely, and you miss that person. And if this happens, again, you just want to remember to just draw the energy back to you and have your chakras in this self-sufficient mode. And I'm teaching you this because this is probably the easiest way I know to connect deeply and to kind of adjust when you're in these awkward situations. So let's give it a try. You've basically got these two different modes, that the connecting mode where you're really connecting well with somebody, and then you've got this self-sufficient mode where you're just by yourself and you're feeling good and confident. So I want you to all stand up right now. We're going to try it out. So I want you to practice this. So this simple technique, even though you're just visualizing the energy, is very similar to how your energy is actually working in the body. And if you visualize something that's similar, it's much, much more effective. Okay, so congratulations. Now you're all official energy workers. You've graduated. And so you know how to use your energy to attract people into your life. And remember, you can do this on any scale. You can attract people from across the world if you want. And I recommend you do it at least once a day while you're here, so you really get to practice and see if it works out for you. And second, you've learned how to connect really deeply with using your energy and not just your words. And this works remotely too, so you can talk to people on Skype or over the phone and use the same connection. And I just want to leave you with one final question, which is, if energy is this easy to use, just visualizing what you want, what else can you do with your energy? So is there some place in your health or your relationships or in your career where you can use energy to create a difference? Or maybe you just want to make a little more fun in your life. How would you do that? How would you use energy? Because I've tried all of that, and I can tell you that there's no limits. Everything is possible with energy.